Hello, everybody. I think you're here. I think there are maybe 14 of you here, which is the awesomest. I am so glad to have you here. I'm Katie Dahl, and I'm streaming tonight from Bailey's Harbor, Wisconsin. Well, actually, I'm technically in Fish Creek, Wisconsin. I'm so grateful to Madhumita for having us. And I'm going to start with this song about worrying. I don't know why any of us would be worrying right now, but in case you are, then you can maybe identify with this. I personally think that those of us who have well-developed worry muscles, which I definitely count myself among those folks, are sort of like at an advantage these days because we've been practicing our worry for so long. I took a walk in the redwood trees out in California. I thought the trees might speak to me that warm and windless summer day, saying we've been here 500 years by the wild Pacific Sea. But I took one look at those big old trees and I worried they would fall on me. Worry, my friend, worry, my love, worry, my shepherd and shield. I borrowed more trouble than I'll ever repay, frost on the summer field. I lay down with the beautiful man, his eyes so kind and blue. We lay down on a feather bed in the cool of a July afternoon. I felt his skin, I felt the sun, my soul would mend. Oh, I loved that lovely man, and I worried it was gonna end. Worry, my friend, worry, my love, worry, my shepherd and shield. I borrowed more trouble than I'll ever repay, frost on the summer field. I woke up on a clear blue day, feeling light and wise. The night had brought me peace at last and brightened all of my skies. I could see my worry gone from me, gone on the westbound track. My worry had finally set me free till I worried it was gonna come back. Worry, my friend, worry, my love, worry, my shepherd and shield. I borrow more trouble than I'll ever repay, frost in the summer fields. I borrow more trouble than I'll ever repay, frost in the summer fields. Well, thanks everybody for being here. It is, always great to play for people, even if you are far away. And I would love for you to put in the comments actually where you're listening from, because I know that a lot of you probably are friends of Madhumita's and are from that neck of the woods, and some of you are probably fans of mine who heard about this through me. So I'd love to see in the comments where you're from. This was I've been living with a 4-year-old, can you tell? This was supposed to be an in-person concert, and it would have been happening right this very minute, live in New Jersey if the world was different, or, the way that we wish it were. Houston, Texas, woohoo! But I'm so glad that it happened anyway. I just sort of had written it off, and Madhumita said, well, let's do it anyway. And it's so amazing to feel like we've got a real community. So thank you very much. And this is another song kind of about worrying. Oh, New York. Wow, the Hendersons in New York. Exciting. All right, this is a song about worrying and kind of written in this time of the year. So Milwaukee and Bailey's Harbor. Oh, it's so great. Massachusetts. I'm just going to tune while you tell me all. Great Barrington. Great Barrington, Illinois. Is that Massachusetts? Oh, Massachusetts. There's just Barrington, Illinois is just Barrington. It's not great. I think it's just a normal municipality. Ewing, New Jersey. So great. I'm sure if I was really on the East Coast, I would be feeling much more tired, and I would be eating much better food than I am if I had been driving all this way. I would be eating up all the delicious non-Midwestern things. I'd be eating a lot of bagels. Anyway, here we go. In the darkest hour of my darkest night, she's the one who kept the light. But that's a secret I have never told her. Sometimes still she comes to me like wood smoke coming through the trees, a wild bird behind my shoulder. I don't know where she sleeps at night. She is dark and wild and bright. She's a chickadee, she is a swallow. I dare not turn around to see, for fear she'll fly away from me. I walk straight ahead and pray she'll follow. Annalie, abide with me. She sat with me in a yellow room. She drew the dead leaves into bloom. With ice and powder, she drew down my fever. Oh my God, her hands on me, as sweet and strong as a maple tree. I was a refugee, and she my healer. Abide with me, Annalie. Abide with me. I wanna know what you're hungry for. I could make a place for you to land. I could feed you seeds and berries from my hand. I felt myself come loose today. I fear I may have lost my way. There's a boulder in my brain, it's like to split me. If I stumble in these winter weeds, fall beneath the weeping trees, Annalie, please fly to me, stay with me. Annalie, abide with me. Annalie, well, as you see, I am, there are lots of seats for you. I think you're all fitting. And let's see, some, Dahl and Veggies potluck, yum. Princeton Junction, New Jersey, E from Wisconsin. Yay. Yeah, so I'm streaming live from Northern Sky Theater, which is sort of one of my adopted homes. It's a great spot. Those of you who are in Door County, which is the place that I live, know it well. And this is their beautiful new theater, and they have such fast internet here that I'm using it. So that's great. And I did want you to know that I have an extra decoration that is not being used, and it is this, oops, oh yeah, that's the right direction. This beautiful rainbow lamp, which is so nice, isn't it? But I just didn't bring enough extension cords, and I can't get it into the shot. So there you go. Yes, Door County. It's a little peninsula. It sticks out into Lake Michigan, and I think I will tell you a little bit about it. I have family here going back a really long way. We're known for cherries and tourists. It's like the Cape Cod of the Midwest is what people say, and it is like that in geography as well as in sort of like vacationiness, and I'm sure in the way that it is quieting down right now, it is also similar. So I have family that goes back a long time, though I didn't grow up here. I grew up in Minnesota, and it's a beautiful, beautiful spot. It has the most coastline of any county in the United States, actually. Fun fact to know and tell. So I'm gonna sing a song I wrote about my grandma, and let's see. She would have been, if she was still around, she would have been like 94 this year, and we were really close and shared a lot of things. She was a great baker and a great ping pong player, which is, awesome. I am not a great ping pong player, but I do bake a lot. So this is a song I wrote about her and about my son, who's now the 7th generation in Door County. Skipped a couple in there, but this is called Wildwood Girl. I thought about you today as I drove the highway straight down from North Bay toward the old canal, like I was tracing your lifeline from that cabin in 29 to the rusty old stop sign where you said farewell. You came in the season of the honeybees, heavy fruit on the cherry trees, your mother on her hands and knees on the bedroom floor, a midwife running up a muddy road, all the way from Liberty Grove, the same road that I drove when my boy was born. Now in the bells out over the bay, all ringing out at the end of the day, I hear you, the wildwood girl, yeah, the wildwood girl. Growing up in the shadow of death's door, echo of the Great War, clean cut and dirt poor, and stronger than the boys. Yeah, you could pick 100 pails in one day. And when the evening came, you had songs and cardamom cake, simple joys. Now in the bells out over the bay, all ringing out at the end eyes so blue and blind, my sweet tooth, my worried mind, my voice, the black buckets and the yellow yarn, laid light on the broken barns, my good heart, my strong arms, my little boy. Now in the bells out over the bay, all ringing out at the end of the day, I hear the wildwood girl. Now in the bells out over the bay, ringing out at the end of the day, I hear the wildwood girl. Yeah, the wildwood girl. The wildwood girl. Thank you. I can tell you're applauding wildly there in your own homes. I keep meaning to buy an applause machine, and I have not yet done that. But whatever. Also, it's kind of unnerving to play with my back to this empty room. But I trust that if anyone is coming in who shouldn't be here, you'll tell me. You'll just yell out, right? Thank you also. Thanks so much for the nice comments. Thanks for tuning in. I know there's a lot of things you could do in your pandemic evening, and I'm glad you're with me. We have a big thing coming up on Tuesday. Raise your hand if you already voted. Good work. I see that most of you are raising your hands. I'm just kidding. I can't see any of you, but I trust that many of you, by the statistics would dictate that many of you have voted, and I hope that if you haven't, you have a plan to do that. Vote.org is a great resource, and I'm very pro-voting. So, this is a song I wrote kind of about America. I feel I love America so much, and I also get so frustrated with it sometimes, and in that sense it feels just like anything I love. There is nothing or no one that I love and don't often feel very frustrated with, except for you. If you're a person that I love and you think to yourself, oh, does Katie Dahl feel frustrated with me? No, never you, only the rest of those people. So this is a song about that. This is kind of a song about what if America was a person, or vice versa. And in particular, I have a friend who sort of was the jumping off point for this song, who was born in March of 1977. That's all you need to know about this. This is called, well, you'll see what it's called. Manistee. Oh yeah, your parents lit some fireworks on the bicentennial in that little blue tent. That's how you came to be. I think America found its way into your blood. It made its way into your blood that night by Manistee. makes you want it all. Beneath the sky so spacious, it makes you feel so small. Well, I knew boys like you in high school, and they were all so beautiful, so sweet and beautiful when they were feeling brave. All those boys I knew in high school could be as mean as a baited bull, yeah, as loaded as a freighter's hull in Lake Michigan waves. I think you're shouting from that high cliff because you're sadder than you seem. I think you hate to see the sun lift because it wakes you from your dream. Now you act so holy in this age of the millennial, in these days of the plentiful, before the hurricane. I think you're just feeling lonely, watching all those dark clouds roll over the mountaintop toward the fruited plain. You are the dark and shining sea. You with the breaking heart, it is of the I say. So maybe you should light some fireworks in your king-size bed, beneath the quilted spread that your mother made. Yeah, find a girl and light some fireworks. Or you could lay down your sweet, sweet head. Shine some light in the night above this home of the brave. Shine some light in the night above this home of the brave. Yeah, shine some light in the night above this home of the brave. Yay, well, let's see. Voted last Monday. Did vote. Good. Hour and 10-minute wait. Oh, heavens to Betsy. We'll be working at the polls. Good job, Jean. So proud. I'm very excited about Tuesday and all the enthusiasm we've heard so far. I don't know what the political proclivities are the folks on this YouTube chat, but I am a folk singer, so I leave you to guess mine. And yes, so good voting. We'll return to some America-y songs later. So I live with my husband, and who's a potter, and Potter was his fallback career, by the way. Like, he's also a bass player, but Potter is his day job, which is such as it is. And our 4-year-old son, whose name is Guthrie, the folkiest of all the children's names. We're hanging in there. I hope you are too. We've watched Frozen, a few thousand times, and etc. But I feel very lucky to live with people that I like at this time. And I wrote this song back when I started dating my husband and wasn't sure that I wanted to commit long term. And I sort of I was very into like strong women, which I still am. And I sort of, what I knew about strong women from the books I had read and stuff as a little kid was that they did not, just run off and get married, but without sort of becoming great first. and I was not sure that I had become great. Now you see, now here in this theater, I have achieved true greatness. But at the time, I wasn't really sure. So I wrote this song about those women of fiction and history lore. And I'll sing this for you. I should mention there is a $20 suggested donation for this show. There's it commented in the top pinned comment. The links are there to pay either via Venmo or PayPal. But you can also do it right here. Or if you'd like to buy CDs or shirts or hats or pottery, that would be an awesome way to do some holiday shopping. I was going to say grocery shopping, but I don't recommend grocery shopping on my website. But katiedahlmusic.com. So let me know if you need help reading any of those or look in the pinned comment. But I digress from the Katharine Hepburn Waltz. Katharine Hepburn, I wish I could learn how you managed to take a man by the hand, hold him close to your side, and still speak your mind in vowels so aristocratic and grand. And tell me, Joe March, did you think yourself harsh when you said no, I can't go be your wife, I'll just write about dances and late night romances, but more importantly, piracy, shipwrecks, and strife. If I'm crazy for him, am I losing my steel? If I'm not, could it mean I forgot how to feel? Without thinking, I'm shrinking away from the call of a girl who stands tall but still knows how to fall. Mary Poppins, did you think of stopping for Bert between spoonfuls of sugar and carpetbag spells? Were you surprised by the way that it hurt to lift your umbrella and bid him farewell? If I'm crazy for him, am I losing my steel? If I'm not, could it mean I forgot how to feel? Without thinking, I'm shrinking away from the call of a girl who stands tall but still knows how to fall. As Penelope, you wove Odysseus home, did you sigh, say someday I too want to roam? Or when he returned, did you feel your heart burn, say now he's come back and I have come home? If I'm crazy for him, am I losing my steel? If I'm not, could it mean I forgot how to feel? Without thinking, I'm shrinking away from the call of a girl who stands tall but still knows how to fall. Well, I'm thinking I'm shrinking away from the call of a girl who stands tall but still knows how to fall. So I, about a year ago, in this very room, I had a reading of a musical that I'm writing in conjunction with Northern Sky Theater, which is this theater. And it is called The Fisherman's Daughters, and it is destined to become, if you ask me, the world's premier, most successful ever eminent domain musical. What do you think? I think it might be the only eminent domain musical, but that doesn't mean that it can't be the most successful one ever. It's about the creation of the first state park in Wisconsin, which just happens to be about 5 minutes away from here where I am. And when they made it, when they created that park, they had to kick about 150 people off their land or buy the land from them. Some were happy to sell and some weren't. And so I am writing a show about these two sisters based on real life women who were not married and who lived in the park and didn't want to sell their land. So the show's about those women and the government agent who comes to try to convince them to sell the land. So, but really it's a story between the two sisters and whose relationship has already sort of been on the outs even before this whole eminent domain situation happened. So I'm sure if you've had any real estate, goings on in your family, you know that real estate dealings are not like the best thing for family harmony. So this is a song about the first sister, the older sister sings about the younger sister in absentia, and it's called The Fisherman's Daughter. Set in 1908, by the way, so important to know. I'm not sure it is important to know, but you might want to know. I am the fisherman's daughter. I know waves and wind. I know salt and barrels and tin. I know the ways of the water. I know blades and twine. I always was his rock of Gibraltar. He was mine. I know the fisherman's story, a boat across the sea. Cut a clearing, built a cabin, planted an apple tree. He learned to fish from Doc and from Dory. Took a wife, 33. She died at 40 and left him two daughters, Nora and me. Nora, always the smart one, took a job in Chicago. I stuck around. Now it's been 2 years that Papa's been gone. She went back to the city the very same day that we laid him in the ground. When I was the fisherman's daughter, I knew how the days would end. I'm going to do another song from that show. This is I put both of these on my latest album, by the way, which you can buy on my store, or you could listen to it anywhere you listen to your music, Apple Music or Spotify or iTunes or whatever you do. I bet you can find it. That album is called WorldWind. A lot of the songs I've done so far tonight are from that album. This one's on there too, and this is a song that the guy I mentioned, the sort of like government agent, uses to try to woo romantically the younger of the two sisters. He fails, it should be noted, and as she is not interested in him or really in men at all. And he also uses it to try to get them to sell their land, right? So both things at once. So here we go. And by the way, you just let me know if you can't hear anything, or if you have suggestions, song requests, you put them in the chat. I can keep up with that. But for now, this is called Breathing Room. It's a duet, but I will be singing both parts, so you'll never know when it's John or Nora. Those are the two characters singing. I need a little breathing room when I'm feeling crowded in the city. Need a little green and blue when I'm feeling tired and gray. Oh, I need that sweet perfume. I'm feeling maddened by the city, a place of deep refuge from the loneliness of my days. A place for the tired and worn to come and rest by the water. A place for the spirit that's torn by the weariness of life. A place for the old to be reborn, to come and rest by the water beneath the hemlock and the hawthorn, free from the stress and strife. So we'll make a little breathing room for those who are crowded in the city. Leave a little green and blue for those who are tired and gray. Just a little sweet perfume for those who are maddened by the city, a place of deep refuge, a place of deep refuge, a place of deep refuge from the loneliness of their days. I can't tell if a plea for breathing room is like the perfect the perfect COVID song, because we all need space from each other, or a terrible COVID song because we are all desperate to see each other and give each other hugs. Pronto. Hard to say. I don't know about you. I have been buying a lot more things online as a way to avoid stores, and I've been trying to buy online at small stores whenever I can. But just today or yesterday, I guess, I got in the mail this new hair texturizer. This is a new haircut for me, and so I never use any. I'm not very you may not be shocked to learn this, or if you know me, you already know. I'm not super fashionista type of a lady, and but I got this. I had this new haircut, and I was like, oh, I'll get some. I asked the hairdresser what kind of product should I put in it, and she said I would get this sea salt texturizing spray, and I thought, well, that sounds awesome. Sea salt texturizing spray. So I went and got it, and the instructions for the sea salt texture, I have it in I would not say that it looks like I have sea salt in my hair, or really that it looks anything other than just slightly, tousled. But the instructions for the sea salt spray were, for long hair, comb carefully through hair with fingers. For short hair, just mess it up. Truly, that's what the bottle said, so that's what I did. Just messed it up. That's what the instructions said. All right. Carry on. Everyone's good? You're all good? Good. The nice thing about it is if you are, if you're wishing that you had a break or wishing that you had a drink, you can go do that on your own. And I can't even tell if you do so. I really prefer in-person concerts, but one advantage is I don't have to worry that you're sitting there in need of something that, some sort of bathroom break that I'm not providing you. So that's a plus. Okay. Let's see here. So we did some musical songs. I'm writing another musical, and it doesn't seem like the most logical thing to do, write another show that requires people to be all in the same room, but I have faith that we will be back in theaters someday. I just accepted a date for a reading of it on November 20th. Do you think I can finish a whole draft of a musical by November 20th? It is now November, so it's this month, 19 days away. I'm not clear that I can, but I'm gonna try. Gosh darn it, I will try. This is a song all about what happens if a lazy Susan falls in love with a dumbwaiter and the love is not requited. What then? Now, you might think to yourself, surely Katie Dahl wrote this during the pandemic when she was stuck at home and couldn't think about anything other than her kitchen implements love lives, but you'd be wrong. I wrote it in 2014, reason unknown, called The Ballad of the Lazy Susan and the Dumbwaiter. Said the lazy Susan to the dumbwaiter, you're the only friend I got in this town. Why don't you come and take me dancing later? You could spin me round and round and round. The cook has got a ladle, the chef has got a lady, the baker's always whisking eggs away. If you were crazy for this lazy Susan, baby, you'd swirl me like a fancy French rosé. You just go up and down and up and down and up and then back down, jumping every time you hear the ding. When you gonna learn this world's direction is around? When you gonna break that string? Well, the flatware and the spatulas are always spooning, lonesome as a top without its spin. Won't you take some pity on this lazy Susan? Twist me like the lemon twist the gin. You just go up and down and up and down and up and then back down, bouncing like a broken Cuisinart. Ah, but if you took a chance, took to twirling me around, I'd get to work and you'd get smart. Well, said the lazy Susan to the dumbwaiter, you're the only friend I got in this town. Why don't you come and take me dancing later? You can spin me round and round and round. Why don't you come and take me dancing later? You can spin me round and round and round. All right. So a few years ago, I went to, my husband and I went to Europe on our honeymoon, and our strategy was stay in places where we could stay for free exclusively. So we stayed with friends, and so we only went to countries where we could stay for free, really. So we went to, we went to Leicester, England for a week, which is not usually, the first place you go on a European vacation, but it was awesome. We went to Paris. I had a friend there, and also in southern France. And then the one place we went where we didn't know anyone was Sweden, because that's where I'm from, and or that's where my family roots are from, and I sort of just was curious about what it really felt like there. And even in the airport gate, it felt like, oh, these are my people. Like, I saw, like, everyone looked like I was related to them. They all had very sensible shoes on, and I felt like we probably all have the same politics. It just felt like, it felt great. And then we got on the plane, and then all the lights on the plane went off, and that's when the song begins. When the engine's losing fuel, 10,000 feet across the Baltic, and the sun is falling fast toward the Copenhagen crowns. Winter water down below glitters harder than a garnet, and you pray your feet will find that good northern ground. And you wonder if your mother feels your fear across the ocean in the Minnesota dark, in a February town. So you try not to feel afraid. Whisper, I love you, and I mean it. And you pray she's sleeping well on the good northern ground. It was 1863 when he set out on the ocean. Your mother's grandfather's father, from a Swedish farmer's town, riding hungry in the hold through the swells of the Atlantic, till he finally stepped back on the good northern ground. And the girl in 19B looks a little bit like he did. Same ocean in her eyes, same question on her brow, whether home is just ahead or forever left behind her, wondering if her feet will find that good Now, every once in a while, I feel like I should show you the amazing rainbow lamp that you can't see, because it's just so nice. I wish you could see it all the time, but alas, the extension cords weren't long enough. A couple weeks ago, I played a show at a drive-in movie theater, and it was super cool. There was a movie, I was like the opening set for movies based in Door County, this place that I live, and over the pandemic summer, my husband and I repurposed my grandpa's old minivan, and we painted it bright turquoise blue, and we wrote Songmobile across it, and we started doing curbside song drop-off. So go places and sing a socially distant song or two or five for a group of people, and that was so fun. And so I was at this drive-in, and we had gotten this a special like battery converter that converts the power from the battery of the van to the sound system that we were going to use, and so we were all set to use that, and for some reason it did not work. So instead, we had to borrow extension cords from people in the audience, and we had to run the extension cord all the way from up by the screen back to the little concessions booth, and then. I finished the set. My husband went home with our son. I was sitting there watching the movie, and then I fell asleep. So I woke up, and everyone had left the movie theater just without their extension cords. You might think that they would want them, but they just left. And so my job was to wake myself up, and follow the extension cords, the muddy, dirty, driven-on extension cords, all the way back to the concessions booth, and coil them all up. It was quite the experience. Anyway, you would have thought, the point is, you would think that I would have learned my extension cord lesson, but did I? No, I didn't learn my extension cord lesson. I feel, a little worried about Tuesday. I suspect we all feel worried about Tuesday, whatever side of the equation we're on. I feel nervous, and I feel kind of excited, and that's not just because it's, I was trying to make a Tuesday joke, but I can't think of a Tuesday joke. I'm worried about the election, everyone, but one thing I have really come to believe is that our country is made up of such great communities, like this house concert that we're not all at, but that we're creating a little community anyway, and that if you call those communities your country, if you name those places you value and people that you value as your country, that's worthwhile. And America, you could name it for whatever things make you feel despair right now about the country, which there are many, and they're true. But you can also name it for the things that make you feel hope and make you feel joy. And so this is a song about those things, and I wrote it for my mom and my cousin and me. Nancy Rafal, I see your request. I got it. Will do Valley for sure. So I wrote this song for my mom and my cousin and me, and it's called Leaky Boats and Paper Birds. And my mom wants you to know, I made a deal with her when I wrote this song, that I would always tell every audience that songwriters use a lot of artistic license when they write songs. I would also like to tell you that I did not use any artistic license when I wrote this song. My cousin is a lover of the land. He picks his tomatoes with a weather-beaten hand. He's got sweet Annie in September and sour cherries in July. He's got a name for every color in the the sky. I don't know just how he makes ends meet, selling sacks of tomatoes for $2 a piece. He just turns toward the south when the north wind blows, keeps walking slow and straight and steady down the road. You say this country has been lost to those who see the land just for its profit and its cost. But I claim it for my cousin 'cause he's touched it with his hands, and my cousin is a lover of the land. My mother is a woman of God. She believes in the comfort of the staff and the rod. She swears by love. She swears unkindness is a sin. Sometimes she swears just like a sailor drinking gin. She tells me it is well with my soul. Tells me it's the mysteries that one day make us whole. She says that some bright morning she will fly away from here if those damn Republicans win again next year. You say this country's gone to hell with those who think that righteousness is something you can sell. But I claim it for the ones who know what true grace can afford, like my mother, who's a woman of the Lord. I am a believer in these words. I fold these lines of mine into little paper birds. If I make them true and keep them pointing toward the sky, then I trust that one day they will fly. I have heard it said that talk is cheap. It's like trying to cross the ocean in a tiny boat that leaks. Well, if you ever want to make it to the ocean's farther shore, you find the leaks, you pay the seams, you grab an oar. You say this country's been betrayed by the huckster's sleight of hand and the congressman's charade. But I claim it for these little leaky boats and paper birds, 'cause I am a believer in these words. My mother is a woman of God, and my cousin is a lover of the land. I think while we're on that topic, I'm gonna do two covers now. One is one Nancy requested, and this one I've been thinking of a lot. This is by a band called Over the Rhine. If a song could be president, we'd hum on election day. The gospel choir would start to sway, then we'd all have a part to play. The first lady would free her hips,
put a microphone to her lips, break our hearts with rhythm and blues. Steve Earle would anchor the news. We'd vote for a melody, pass it around on an MP3. All the best foreign policy would be built on harmony. If a song could be president, we'd send a jukebox to the moon. All the founding fathers' 45s, Lyden Hopkins and Patsy Cline. If a song could be president, oh, if a song could be president, oh, he could all add another verse. Life would teach us to rehearse till we found the key change. Break out of this minor key of half-truths and hypocrisy. We would need an underachiever in chief. If a song could be president, we'd make Neil Young a senator, even though he came from Canada. Emmy Lou would be ambassador. World leaders would listen to her. They could show us where our country went wrong, strum their guitars on the White House lawn. John Prine would run the FBI. All the prisoners would laugh and cry. If a song could be president, yeah.
All right, Nancy Raphael requested this one. This is a song by Pat McDonald, who's Door County's resident Grammy nominee. He wrote the song. He was with the band Timbuk 3, and he wrote the song "The Future's So Bright I Gotta Wear Shades." So I keep thinking there's somebody here, but I realize I would see them. It's this Halloween leftovers. Not the actual, just the Halloween leftovers, figments of imagination, that's all. But anyway, so this song is about a town called Valmy, and it's hard to explain how unlikely it is you would think that someone would write a song about Valmy unless you've been there. And by there, I mean through there, because really, there are some places you go in Valmy, a gas station, a bar called the Happy Hour, which has super good fish fry. And also a restaurant called the Hitching Post. So Valmy does have those places, but none of them are mentioned in this song, which I love, by Pat McDonald. So here we go.
Valmy, my pretty Valmy, I long to see you again. Around the burn barrel humming, bang out a song beside the big bonfire, singing Tweedledee-dum, ba-dum-bum, Valmy, my stormy Valmy, I'll take your winter in stride, I'll take your snowfall lightly, snuggle inside, and when your spring showers fall, soon your rainbow will come. Valmy, tall as an elm tree. Well, you got cats in your hair. All the dogs are barking. Yeah, there's cats in your hair. All the birds are mad, singing Tweedledee-dum, ba-dum-bum. Wherever she may ramble, yeah, a place in your heart. Wherever she may roam, she'll be calling you home. Ba-dum-bum. Mammy, my pretty mammy.
Let's see. I'm gonna play one more song, I think, but I wanted to say, there's if you're just joining us, there's a $20 suggested donation, but don't leave. Obviously, if you can't pay it, but if you'd like to donate anything, totally don't have to go do anything that you can't afford. But this is the tip jar. There's Venmo at Katie Dahl Music. There's PayPal, which is paypal.me/KatieDahlMusic. Or if you'd like to buy stuff, you can go to katiedahlmusic.com. I don't know if you could tell that this is not a real K. This darn letterboard did not come with enough real Ks to put 3 different ones on the board, but I managed to do it. Also, these M's are upside down. Anyway, I digress. Also, I put a lot of new songs out on Patreon, and that is a subscription service. You can sign up and give as little as $3 a month, and I do special concerts there for Patreon people, and I put up new work there, and I put up old work there, and it's a pretty fun place to interact. So patreon.com/KatieDahlMusic is that. And finally, I'm starting a new weekly live stream series on Tuesdays, starting on November 10th. So we're skipping Election Day, but it's going to be a series where I sing a song or two, and then I invite a friend of mine, a different friend every week, on to chat about a topic. And the topics are going to range widely. So on Tuesday, I've got Parker Palmer, who's a well-known writer and activist. He writes a lot about education and sort of like, I don't know how to say it, but, democracy. So we're talking about democracy on November 10th, which I'm really looking forward to. On November 17th, I've got Peter Mulvey. You might know him. He's an awesome songwriter, originally from Wisconsin, but he lives out in Massachusetts now. Peter Mulvey's great, dear friend, and that's November 17th. We'll be talking about Wisconsin. And then on November 24th, a dear friend of mine with whom I co-wrote my first ever musical, which is called Victory Farm, Emily Colson Salgado, she's going to be on to talk to us about pie. And she owns a Michelin-starred restaurant, so I feel that she has a lot of useful pie tricks that we can take with us going into Thanksgiving week. So that's on my Facebook page. If you head over there, facebook.com/KatieDahlMusic, you could like me and find out when those are all happening. Or if you want, you could sign up on my email list at my website, katiedahlmusic.com. That's all the stuff you need to know. Really, what I want to say is thank you to Madhumita for hosting this concert and for encouraging me to do it. I was like, oh, well, anyone, are you sure you want to really do it? And she said, yeah. And it has felt like such a nice thing to look forward to. So I'm really grateful to you, Madhumita, for putting us on. Or for putting this on, and I'm grateful to all of you for coming. I'll see some of you in the chat afterward. You really make a Lonely Folk Musicians Day, everybody, by coming on out. So, and by coming out, I mean staying in. So where I live, in Door County, Wisconsin, it looks like this. It is a peninsula that sticks out into Lake Michigan, and there are no chain restaurants north of there. This whole long peninsula, it's like a 50-mile long stretch with no chain restaurants. They're all locally owned, which is so cool. So you go in, you know the owner, you feel great, there's really good food, and lately I've been really missing restaurants. I haven't been going to them, but they're the best. So about 10 years ago, they tried to put a Subway restaurant in all the way up here at the top of the thumb, and I felt like, oh, this is such a bummer. So I was just worried about what it would do to cause, unfair competition, or maybe it's fair, but I was worried it would harm the locally owned restaurants economically. So I wrote this song and I sang it at a town board meeting and in the end, they did not put the subway in, and though I do not think it's because of my song, I would like you to believe it's because of my song, because that, why not? No, I don't think it was, but still, nonetheless, it's a song about community and about digging in where you are. And so I'll leave you with this one, and thanks very much for listening. I'm Katie Dahl. We got goats up on the rooftop. We got whitefish in the bay. We got spotted cows to fill our cup at the end of every day. A white gull roosts at the end of Main Street, just a block from summertime. Autumn days that flow like water, winter nights that glow like wine. We got singing by the fireside, we got dancing in the barns. Sometimes the northern lights go rolling like a sky-high ball of yarn. Some folks pray for rain on Monday, some just take it as it comes, straight from the mighty hand of God to the top of his thumb. Yeah. So I say keep the door wide open, I say welcome, come inside. I don't want to be unfriendly, I'm not trying to be unkind, but I say some things still are sacred. Please don't try to chain me in, I'll break my bread at hometown tables in the company of friends. My grandma rests up on the hillside, I'll be with her by and by, but for right now she's just dreaming. I think she's wondering why we'd give up all this gold for just some flashing in the pan, why we'd trade this milk and honey for a supper from a can. I say keep the door wide open, I say welcome, come inside. I don't want to be unfriendly, I'm not trying to be unkind, but I say some things still are sacred. Please don't try to chain me in, I'll break my bread at hometown tables in the company of friends. I know we are not the center, I know this is not the end. I know winds are always changing, I know strong trees have some bend. Well, there are wars across the ocean, there is terror in the sky. Folks are building up their fences, there are bigger fish to fry, but this is the home I've searched for. I will not be misled, sometimes the place that matters most is where we choose to break our bread. I say keep the door wide open, I say welcome, come inside. I don't want to be unfriendly, I'm not trying to be unkind, but I say some things still are sacred. If you try to chain me in, I'll break my bread at hometown tables in the company of friends. I'll break my bread at hometown tables in the company of friends. Thanks so much, everybody. I really appreciate you. Stay safe, stay well, vote, and I'll see you next time. Thanks so much for listening. Bye.